I want to talk about some grooming stuff today with the puppies. Even though they may not need to be groomed right now, it is something that, like everything else in a puppy's life, we want to get them completely comfortable with being brushed, having their nails done, having their ears looked at, having their teeth looked at. So we're just going to quickly go through a couple things. This was sort of presented itself today because there's a bunch of little weeds that are in my yard, and they all got embedded in the coat of the puppy. So first thing to do when you want to get rid of anything in the puppy's coat is to use either a slicker brush, which I couldn't find right now, but it has like lots of little tiny pin wires in it. It's similar to this, but I'm going to use this for right now. So we want to get out as much of the real tangles as we can before we use a comb. So I really kind of want to just go through and brush, and you could probably see I just flung a bunch of these little weeds out of the coat just by using the brush alone. So these are just sticky. They're not really a burr, but they stick into the coat. So I did a little bit of brushing earlier, and Dougie's been really good about letting me do this. Most of them don't love their head being brushed. So I want to make sure I do kind of underneath the ears, get all the brushing done that you can first, and then I'm going to skip ahead and show you that then I kind of take a comb and I run it through their coat. It's really important because this is what kind of gets out all the stuff that's really stuck in there. A really fine tooth comb. This is even easier sometimes with a puppy because it's really small, and it also has even these finer little things that'll get out fleas and or ticks if ticks happen to get on your dog. So I'm going to kind of lift his head up, and then he's got a ton of those little burrs underneath here and on his legs. So I'm just kind of combing all of them out. They're sort of flying out as I do this. And again, he's being such a good little boy. So I just want to make sure I get him really comfortable with this. Now, if I had a puppy, oh, here's a couple more on his ear, attached to his ears. If I had a puppy who was just not having this, we'll grab another puppy right now and see sort of what that looks like. See if we have any more troubles. So we switched up puppies here. What I started to mention earlier was if you have a puppy who is just really squiggly and squirmy, it's hard to do when you're not an expert at this. I mean, I'm by no means an expert, but I'm pretty good at it. So, so if I were new to this, I would have a helper, and I would have my helper with some little either kibble or treats, and just have that person continuously kind of feeding the puppy as we were going along trying to do some of this grooming. Because a lot of puppies think it's way more fun to try to attack combs and brushes than they do actually just sit here like this. Thankfully I have a lot of distraction right now, which all the puppies are kind of watching each other, so it makes it look like this is a lot easier. So we also have grooming wipes, which can be a real savior if your dog is just kind of dusty and you don't really feel like doing a full bath. Another great thing is a waterless shampoo. I'll show you. It kind of looks like you squirt it out. It looks like a foam. And all you do is kind of rub it into the coat, rub it in really well, and then you can either wait for it to kind of dry, and then as soon as it's dry, I'm just sort of moving ahead without the dry part, you can brush the coat out. And again, really helpful if you don't feel like doing a full bath.